Welcome back to our online Facilitating Adult Learning course. In Module 5, we'll look at some tips and tricks for facilitators. Remember, at any time you can pause this presentation using the video controls, and you can also go back to repeat anything you didn't catch. In this module, we are first going to go through 9 steps in the Facilitation Skills Checklist. This incorporates information that we've gone over in Modules 1 through 4. The first step is to create and maintain an inclusive learning environment appealing to different types of learners and make sure that everyone feels comfortable and welcome. The second step is to be a careful observer of what is going on during the workshop so that you can readily address any challenges that may come up. The third step is to listen carefully to participants and offer specific feedback that builds on participants' existing strengths. Step 4 is to preempt and handle conflict, using the skills for managing challenging behavior that we reviewed in Module 4 of Facilitating Adult Learning. Step 5 on the checklist is to facilitate experiences, not just information. Think back to the first slide in Module 1 where we looked at the images of igniting the mind versus flooding it with information. Make sure participants are stimulated verbally and visually, and also have a chance to move around during the workshop. Step 6 refers to asking the right questions, the information we went over in Module 3. Make sure your questions can assess learning, generate discussion, and provide evaluation of the learning session. Step 7 on the Facilitation Skills Checklist is to practice active listening and make sure you, as the facilitator, understand what the speaker is saying. Step 8 is about the importance of managing time as the facilitator. Start and end on time, manage break times, and set a timer when moving from section to section if needed. Finally, Step 9 says to be aware of your role as facilitator. Strive for a positive first impression. Be energetic. Be aware of your pace and your gestures, and make sure you're prepared with note cards or an outline. With these 9 steps checked off, your learning workshops are sure to be a success. Next, we'll take a look at how to avoid the top 10 facilitation mistakes. These quick tips for avoiding mistakes will help you ensure a smooth workshop. Mistake number 1, not opening the session in a strong, memorable way. Open with energy. Mistake 2, using inappropriate humor. If you are not naturally funny, don't try to be. Mistake number 3, repeatedly calling on the same people during the session. Direct some questions to those who haven't participated very much. Mistake number 4, going off on a tangent or keeping the focus on oneself instead of on the learner. Ask other participants to answer the question before you do. Mistake number 5, distributing handouts well before you're going to use them. Provide materials when you want them to be read. Mistake number 6, facilitating or talking during distractions. Do not ignore distractions and hope they will stop. Mistake number 7, facilitating only from the front of the room. Purposefully move around the room periodically. Mistake number 8, not tapping into different learning styles. Try to engage all of the senses. Mistake number 9, too much telling, not enough asking. Develop a level of comfort in facilitating discussions. Mistake number 10, not ending on time. Let participants know you will be available following the session for additional questions. Finally, this last list provides some time management tips for facilitators. We've already mentioned the importance of starting and stopping on time, but it's worth mentioning again so as to be respectful of volunteer time, both for our volunteer facilitators and for our participants. Make sure to provide scheduled breaks as needed and build enough time into each session for processing. It's important to evaluate your pace as the facilitator with the needs of the participants. We hope the checklist and tips provided in this module have helped bring together all of the essential information on facilitating adult learning and prepared you for facilitating dynamic, engaging learning opportunities. Make sure you have notes for yourself on what you've learned and set aside some time to reflect on how you can incorporate this information in your role as a facilitator. In the final section, we'll look at some of the specific training needs and requirements for the Girl Scouts of Kansas Heartland. Thank you for following along with us in Module 5 of Facilitating Adult Learning. Make sure to save any notes that you're keeping for your reference, and then, when you're ready, continue on to Module 6.